Chief Foreign Editor Rob Parsons. Rob, as I mentioned, the Attorney General's full legal advice on the Brexit deal has been published. What's the reaction been?
Well, the MPs have been chewing over that, and there is a lot of dissatisfaction, particularly coming from the DUP, the Democratic Unionist Party in Northern Ireland, which is a junior partner in the coalition with the Conservatives, lose the support of the DUP, and Theresa May no longer has a majority in the Commons. So it's very important what they think. Although it has to be said in advance that it looked very unlikely that they were going to support her on her deal with Europe in any case. But there's no doubt that they're even more dissatisfied now, referring to the report from the Attorney General as devastating. And what they're concerned about is the backstop and what it means for Northern Ireland, because it's the impression is that the Northern Ireland will be part of a customs union with the European Union in a completely separate arrangement from the rest of Great Britain. And in an additional aspect to this is that it looks now as though, at least on the basis of the Attorney General's advice, that this ruling will stay in position almost indefinitely until another ruling, an amendment, is placed which replaces it. In other words, Britain is locked into this agreement without any end in sight. The Democratic Unionist Party is in fury about that, and the impression is growing that the chances of any sort of support for Theresa May next week are reducing pretty fast.
And Rob, tell us more about the MP's amendment to hand over more power to Parliament should she lose that vote on Tuesday.
Yeah, I think this is a very important development because it goes beyond Brexit in a way. It's about a shift in the relationship between the legislature and the executive in British politics, in other words, away from the government and towards Parliament. Because what it does is it says that if, in the event of Parliament not giving support to Theresa May's proposal on Brexit, if after that she comes back, or the government comes back in 21 days, as it has to do after the vote, with a statement and then a motion, Parliament can make an amendment to that motion, putting forward its own proposals. For instance, staying in the European Union, calling a second referendum, adopting the Norwegian relationship, perhaps, with the European Union. So what that essentially does is almost certainly, if it goes ahead, rule out a no deal on the European Union, on Brexit. Now, many on the Brexiteer side of the equation in the British Parliament are pretty much alarmed by that, because many of them would prefer a no deal to Theresa May's deal. So the question for them is, what do they do? If that option is slipping away, what do they do when it comes to the vote next week? And some on the Brexiteer side are beginning to say to themselves, well, perhaps in these circumstances, we may not like Theresa May's deal, but perhaps it's better than the alternatives.
All right, thank you very much, Rob, for your analysis.